no reason to post this unless I can erase most of it and make some kind of sense out of it, which I have kind of been doing that, but no, I keep a train of thought going. I make sure, I'm kind of a recording artist, and I can splice really easily song or a sentence, a train of thought to make sense to people what I really meant. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that people would rather not see. With all of boy, God, that have mercy. When you watch some of the commercials that display on YouTube, free, no ads for a month. I just hit no thank you. Either you're going to give it to me and say, how did you like your no ads? The answer is no thank you. Or anything else. See, I don't partake, is what I'm saying. I just don't. And some of it is kind of, I am sure, they get kind of frustrated, right? The YouTube people, they want me to take surveys and take part and everything, and I just kind of waiting until it's like, you know what, you can do that, and you can also fix my algorithm better too. I think, see, overall, basically, they want people, more and more people, to raise their awareness. You could say in general, because awareness is something that just you can't. You have to raise it into more and more consciousness, right? And the complaint, see, the main thing about narcissism is that this is a fact. You want to know what we're talking about? The lack of enlightenment that they embody. It's just you either get it or you don't. And see, the thing about the narcissist is they don't get it. And the malignant cases, they don't know that they don't get something. They'll argue with you about their righteous consciousness, but they don't have consciousness. They're not in the least bit consciously aware. Is the sometimes they'll say that, but really it's that their awareness isn't graduated out of the fear base, which is the mind, not enough into consciousness, which is more and more awareness. It's hard to explain, with these words, but I love poking around it with the rest of the scientists there that know that this is like a very vital subject matter, because you can't learn anything unless you access your awareness and move it into consciousness, and then your brains are just going to have to take a back seat. They take a back seat. There's a lot in the air right now. There's a lot going on. We can look at it and give the excuse of astrology, and you need to know your own personal planets, the degree and the sign. There's a lot of healing in the air with the trines. Where's my breakthrough? See, the trouble that I'm having, and this is like one of the main things that I would bring up, I think, on this particular video. Ironic, because it's the same video that I'm bringing it up right now. The thing is about just let's talk about the society of people that are on a narcissistic bent, and they probably don't even know it. See, that's the thing. Where I was just, uh, you look up this thing called covert narcissists. They are so they're a problem because it's very possible, and it's true with a lot of them. The problem we have is they're completely unconscious. They don't know that they're being totally predatory, like an automatic fucking trap, and or toxic trap that will ruin your life. You won't. They don't get. They're getting control in a different way. That's very offset, and they use your conscience, right? And so it's not just a blatant kind of uh, way that other narcissists that aren't so say a lot of the covert communal narcissists are high up on the financial bracket. They're also well known to be helpers. You notice though that there's a scenario where people hang on to their narcissist more than they'll hang on to you. They you are incorrect, and they stick to their what it is just a house of pain, man. because you want out of the pain. You can see something else that's like much more creative and feeling good. You probably have an inkling of what feels good, or you have a feel good body, just a little bit that you're trying to save, and that's how you get out of it in the first place. To say, no, God, and you realize that there's an emergency coming up with humanity, that it's like sanctuary. We need to find each other, those that value feeling good and know what that means, you see, because there's two types of people on the planet, and I'm going to wrap this up, and I've been talking about this lately, to let you know that no, I'm dead, we're dead serious, and it's not necessarily men and women, although both men and women can exhibit these two types of embodiments or beings, ways of being. You see, one of them has their awareness rooted into the mind as a mind; they're completely infused there, or one of them is just awareness in rooted into reality, and they have like a real live presence experience of reality as a heart. And so yeah, the controversy is, well, who's who, more prone to what, and blah, blah, blah. And we've already been thumbing through that for centuries now, actually. That's what narcissism is. And see, that there's the echo. I don't think people realize, but look up the story called Narcissism. The guy is Narcissus. What's his name? And Echo. Echo is the one, he goes, wait a minute, I hear something. And it's really he starts arguing with his own echo or something. It's kind of funny because that's what it's like when you really start getting into communications with any of these kinds of people. They are ready to argue because that's the way they validate their non-existence into existence, and they just end up sucking your. It's an invisible thing that they're doing, which goes back. See, it's like it goes back to them just playing chess, and they're like, well, are you on to me or off to me? Can I get you to babysit the fact that all I want is attention? Or do I gotta leave? And there's so many masks to that very just that simple thing right there. I mean, if you really get your head wrapped around that all it wants is attention, plug in, it's like being babysat, being plugged into to real authentic like attention, like, well, everything's packed in there, right? Hope, your fears are gone, just a little attention, masked in, oh, I'm an adult, I can do this and that, I'm doing this and that, and blah, blah, blah. It's running out there as posing as a very, very productive, progressive world. Just wants a little attention, that's all. It's best to get it all whipped up too, that, get it all out of the way. Get your food, housing, drink, all that out of the way, and it is, right? We've got that now go look for attention. When really it's like, well, during all of that journey of finding all of that, don't you think that you could have been more attentive to each other and find out who the fuck you want to live with and who you want to eat with and who's growing your food? How about that? Pay attention to the truth instead of the real life illusion that people exist over the truth. No, you'll never get that.